Hey everyone, Codex here. I hope you're doing great. So today what we're gonna do is take a look at Bitcoin and we'll be discussing the recent drop that we are just getting below 20,000 US dollars. So if you guys like the content, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course make sure to get the free bonuses on Mixi with the link down below. So Bitcoin is in deep shit. It's currently below the previous market cycle all-time high. It's also below the 200 weeks moving average, which many of you relied on, and it's even starting to get close to the bottom of our logarithmic regression bands. So as I said, the 200 weeks moving average was supposed to be this strong support because the last 3 times we touched it, we ended up bottoming down. And we can see in here how that happened in 2015, and that was basically the first indicator that this long-lasting downtrend was over and that the trend was shifting from bearish to bullish. Touching the 200 weeks moving average in here was basically the ultimate bottom indicator. The same thing happened in 2018, and clearly the 200 weeks moving average marked our bottom, and about a year after bottoming in here we just got a similar signal with our MA amid the crazy March crash. However, back in here we didn't really hold it and we ended up trending below it. And bear in mind, this wasn't a small wick or anything like it. I mean, this was a 26% move down below the blue line. However, despite that, this week didn't last for long and we somehow managed to trend up, and the bull run just started afterwards. So despite this big week below the moving average, of course, we still believed the 200 weeks MA as our support because we just started our bull run after that. However, in the current market cycle, our moving average is not present. I mean, we've just ignored it completely, and that's why we always say that although something happened in the past, it doesn't necessarily imply that it will happen again. It's not a general rule. Now, could we end up with a similar scenario to 2020 where we just get a massive drop before coming back up above our MA? Yeah, but it's very unlikely. Just hear me out. Back in here, we had our friends at the States starting their printers at max speed, and so we hit a catalyst to trigger an uptrend after this massive crash, where now we don't have that luxury. There is absolutely no catalyst to stop this drop other than reducing the next rate hikes, which will offer temporary relief. It will do that, but long term it will just screw us more. And so the only luxury that we just have right now is an 8.6% inflation. And so trending to lower levels remain more likely in my opinion. We will of course come back up to 20k at some point. That's what I think will happen to retest this level. But the odds of this downtrend continuing are very high. The other thing I want to discuss is Bitcoin's previous market cycle stop, and we said 100 times in here that throughout Bitcoin's history we have never went below the previous market cycle stop. That's true. However, this doesn't mean that it can't happen. I always say this. I honestly think that I say this 100 times in here. I say this every time I discuss Bitcoin. I also say it on the Telegram channel. But there will be always morons who come in here, who come to me and say, no, Bitcoin never went below the previous market cycle stop, so it can't. Fast forward, we found out that it can. Now, if we look to the modified logarithmic regression bands, which historically speaking have been super accurate in indicating our bottom and of course our top, we can see that we are already in the green area, which suggests that our bottom is near. Anyhow, what you must keep in mind here is how big this area is, and so according to it, we could drop as low as 15.9 thousand US dollars before bottoming down. Does this mean that we can't go below 16k? No. You see, this is where you are wrong. All these indicators we use help us know when to accumulate and when to sell, but all of them are simply made by us to fit our expectations, and so at some point some of them will become wrong and useless. Look, I personally think that we will go lower than this. I said on the Telegram channel that I think that we will see Ethereum drop to 3 digits, that it will drop to $850 with Bitcoin dropping to $18,000, and I still think that the odds of seeing lower levels remain pretty much high. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy, I never say that. All I'm saying is that you have absolutely no idea how bad the market's condition actually is. It's if you only knew how many companies could go down because of 3 arrows capital, you would be shocked. Add to that the high inflation, a conflict between 2 nations, and things just get worse and worse. Every indicator is currently screaming bottom for us. That's true. That's totally true. You have right. We have got the fair value line indicating that, the risk metric which we discussed on the Patreon account, the investor tool too, the moving average, and everything basically. And yet the prices are still going lower every day. And this simply shows that no model is really perfect. Based on this momentum and on the order book, it looks to me like this isn't the bottom yet. So, in my opinion, as I said, I think that we will go much lower in the future. I don't think 2022 is gonna be good. I said that since last year, since the end of last year. I sold most of my holdings around November, December. I started buying again. That's completely true. I'm down on some of my new buys that I bought this year, but that doesn't matter because 2022 was supposed to be a bad year. We've said that many times in the past. So I'll say that was about it, guys. Thanks for sticking by till the end. Also, if you want to store your crypto in a hardware wallet, although they're pretty much worthless now, sorry. Yeah, if you want to do that, make sure to check out Decent, as they are offering a very cool discount on their biometric wallets, on the hardware wallets. In the last days, we found out how important self-custody is, and so make sure to check it out if you want to get one, of course. Thanks, have a nice day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.